Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to World Spectrum. Your host, as usual, is Adam Zek. Let's get to the show.
Good evening. Tonight on World Spectrum, the Enlightenment. What was it, and just who were the people who were involved? Tonight we bring you 8 eminent guests to the studio who are going to talk about the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment, in itself, was an increase of thought in the 18th century. People began to think for themselves more, even generate their own political philosophy. In our case, we have 8 guests who did generate their own political philosophy, and we like to bring them to the show to talk about their views. The 8 guests tonight, we have Adam Smith, John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, Baron de Montesquieu, François-Marie Arouet, otherwise known as Voltaire, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Mary Wollstonecraft, and Olympe de Gouges, who are all going to speak their own views, which are based on the Enlightenment. The effects of the Enlightenment were profound, and seen throughout the world. For instance, the United States, a country that was roughly in its formation at the time, in 1789 created its Constitution based on the ideals of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, freedom, and democracy, views which you could say were of Baron de Montesquieu or John Locke, whereas France at the time had an absolute monarchy system. This system could be seen as something preferred by Voltaire, or maybe by Thomas Hobbes, who had this idea of a single leader. Or perhaps you could see from around the world the systems of democracy began to flourish, and these ideas which came out of the Enlightenment. Or maybe, if you want to talk about economy, our first guest tonight, Adam Smith, believes that absolute capitalism is the way to go. He is the author of An Inquiry into the Nature and Wealth of Nations, and is a world-famous economist, even if that world was in 1776. Please welcome to the show tonight, Mr. Adam Smith.
Hello.
Mr. Smith, I would like to talk to you about your theory of economy. Specifically, what is the relationship between government and the stock market? Could you please explain that?
Yes, indeed. My theory is that government must not interfere with the stock market because of the government policy can only do the market's harm. Meanwhile, the businesses only need to create affordable prices in order to generate the business and fuel the economy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Might I also ask you about your national views and about governmental policy?
Well, I personally believe that the governing can be left to the people because the people can make the good judgment even though mankind has a keen self-interest. Again, this ties with the economy by letting good judgment come in with policies and self-interest in the two markets.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, and good night. Now we bring you another philosopher, our second guest tonight. He is the author of 2 treatises on government and is a strong, strong supporter of England. Please welcome to the program tonight, Mr. John Locke. Mr. Locke, you are most famous by your philosophy, governing with the consent of the governed. Care to explain that?
Not at all. Governing with the consent of the governed is simply the means that the people must be allowed to make some decisions in their government. People tend to cause unrest if the leader makes unfavorable decisions. So as long as the people agree with the leader's decisions, they have no right to complain.
And how does this philosophy tie to government?
In government, people must have a representative system. As you said earlier, I am a supporter of England and the English parliamentary system. I particularly like the fact that the Glorious Revolution created the English Bill of Rights, weakening the king's power and bringing a representative body into power, specifically Parliament. This will ensure that the people will have consent with their leader.
Very interesting there, Mr. Locke. Thank you for your time on the program. Our next guest tonight on World Spectrum is quite the opposite. He He is the author of Leviathan and is considered grim in his views of human nature. Please welcome now Mr. Thomas Hobbes. Mr. Hobbes, you do have a poor outlook on human nature. Might you describe that for us?
Certainly. Humans are scum, and unable to make good decisions. They are corrupt and mean. Humanity is a disgrace, and most lives are solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. A quote of mine which is commonly used out of context.
Well, that is some very strong meat for you there, Mr. Hobbes. Might I ask, how does your belief in this tie into the government philosophy?
It does in a sense that without central authority, people will run wild and rampant, creating everlasting state of war. Thereby people need the central monarchy, and all must heed before it. I much admire the French in this respect because their monarchy system is absolute thanks to Louis XIV.
But in your book Leviathan, you talked about creating a social contract with the leader of the people. Could this contract be seen as a constitution?
No, because the contract is mainly for creating a society of which the monarch can rule, man.
Well, thank you for your input there, Mr. Hobbes.